Looks natural, doesn't it? Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So, in today's video, everything's falling apart already. We're gonna play with the Tartalette Toasted palette. Yay! And also a little blending brush. So that's what we're gonna do in today's video. Before we start the video, please check out my socials down below, my Instagram, my Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, check out my pictures. Also subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Comment any suggestions, your opinions, and everything like that. Also, yes, I'm wearing a wig today because my hair is in horrible state. I'm not a professional or experienced wig wearer, so I'm quite aware that this is not perfect, but that's what we're gonna have to do today. So, without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I have unboxed the palette. This is how it looks like. Beautiful. I don't know how I would even describe this, but beautiful packaging, the typical Tartalette packaging. When you open this, you've got the plastic sheet that we're gonna put in the bin. And this is how the palette looks like. So we've got a gorgeous shade selection. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matte shadows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmery shadows. So we have plenty to work with today. I'm gonna take my usual no-name brush and I'm gonna set my eyeshadow primer. I already primed my eyes with the Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer that I always use. By the way, do you like this highlight? Jeffree Star Lavender Snow, one of my favorites. Okay. By the way, I'm gonna do some brush and finger swatches and insert them over here while I'm doing this eyeshadows. So first thing we're gonna go in with is this shadow S'more. And I'm gonna take that on my brush and set my eyeshadow primer with it. By the way, it's 2 in the morning now. And I'm just doing my makeup to take it off right away. Now, I bought this palette on QVC for £39 if I'm not mistaken, and it was a set with a brush. So we've got a really nice same kind of a theme brush. It's a blending brush. I don't know if I can show you the Tarte logo on it. Yeah, there's a Tarte logo on it, so we're gonna try this brush out as well. So the first shade we're gonna dip into is going to be the shade Cashmere. So, my god, I can't see anything, it's too shiny. So that's the shade Cashmere. So I'm gonna go into it with the blending brush. Pretty powdery. Look at the poor pan. No. But it smells lovely as all the other Tarte shadows, the Tartalette palette. Okay, so let's put this right into the crease without playing any games. Okay, looks quite alright. Nice transition shade. It's showing up, it's blending. I don't know, I've heard mixed reviews on this palette. I've heard that some people really didn't like it and other people think it's the same quality as the other Tartalette palettes. So we shall see. I own the Tartalette 2 eyeshadow palette. I don't own the first one, and I really like it. So we shall see. Okay, now we have that one there, and we're gonna go in the shade Warmth right over here. So on the same brush, coat the brush, tap it off, and go back into the crease. Okay, this is blending out really nicely together. It's showing up really nicely. I actually like the color. It's some kind of a dark orangey shade. They are very pigmented, so don't forget to tap your brush off. Now I'm gonna take this brush and run it through my color switch just to get rid of the product so we can use it again. Blowing off the excess. Now I'm gonna go into the shade, into the shade Cozy. So over here, let me hold this normally. So I'm gonna go into this shade. Gonna tap off the excess and just go lightly into the, starting in the outer corner and pulling it in. I'm gonna do exactly the same on the other eye. Get the shade Sunrise on that brush and put it under the brow bone for a little highlight. And just blend it again with this brush. So I would say so far so good. I'm liking how this looks. It's blending out really nicely. Completely, so I'm gonna go into the shade Fireside, which is like really dark purple. So I'm gonna go on that brush and really lightly, just lightly place it in the outer corner, because we don't want to go ham with it and then have trouble blending it out. So just lightly. And then I'm gonna take this double-ended Tarte brush and just use the blending side and blend the dark shade through. And now blend it a bit upwards. Okay, so now the crease is done. As you can see, everything blended really nicely together. The shadows are really pigmented and go on really well, blend out really nicely, so no bad things to say about that. Now we're gonna go onto the lid colors, and the first shade I'm gonna go in with is the shade Candle down here on my Morphe M442 brush. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that shade, tap the excess off and place that on my inner corner. Now I'm gonna go, this shade really calls my attention, so I'm gonna go into the shade Flame, pick it up on the brush, tap the excess off and go on the lid. Or maybe don't tap the excess off, because you're not gonna get any pigmentation on your eyelid. So we're just gonna pack this on as much as possible. The shade doesn't look as nice as it looks in the pan. This is how it looks swatched. It looks way more bronzy on the actual eyelids, and I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna try pack a little bit more of it on. Yeah, it just looks bronzy on the eyes. Now I'm gonna blow off the freaking powderiness of it. And this shade really interests me, this sparkly one. So the name is Crackle, it's gorgeous. Just look at the sparkles. So I'm gonna get that on a clean brush, on the Wet n Wild shadow brush, and we're gonna go, oh my god, you see it going everywhere. Just gonna pack that onto the outer corner. And I think that I just got fallout all over my face from that. Lovely. Now I'm gonna go back in with this brush and no extra shadow on it, just try to blend this out. Yeah, so that's how that looks like. The sparkles are almost completely lost from it, and I'm gonna zoom you in. So you can see this is the fallout from the brown shadow named Crackle. This is the one from the red one, and we have a lot of fallout here as well. Okay, so now that the fallout is gone, I'm just gonna take this tiny little Morphe brush and we're gonna work on the lower lash line. So for the lower lash line, I'm gonna take the shade Cozy over here and just gonna smoke it on the lower lash line. Okay, so that's the eye look done. As you can see, the mattes are really nice. This brown shadow lost all of its sparkle when I applied it on my eyes. This one, it's a nice foiled shade. I really like the inner corner color, but with this one on my lid, you can still see my skin poking out, so maybe it's better used wet. You know what, let's just do that. Why not? So I'm gonna take the shade Flame again on my brush, and I am going to take a little bit of Fix Plus, spray it, and try to make this color look more vibrant. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. So that's what we're gonna do with the other eye as well. So with the dampened brush, the shade looks really nice. So yeah, like I said, the eyeshadow is nice now that it was wet. It's really good. The mattes blended out really nicely. So all in all, a nice eyeshadow palette. So let me put my mascara on and some lipstick, and I will tell you my final thoughts after that. Okay, so I put some mascara on and I have used the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Current. That's it. I felt like red. You know, red hair, red makeup, red everything. So my final thoughts on this palette are not really that negative or positive. It's a nice palette. The mattes are really nice and blendable, which is good. The shimmers are not that great if you're using them dry. If you wet them, of course, they look amazing. The biggest disappointment for me from the shades I've used is the shade Crackle. Just look how gorgeous it looks in the pan, but as soon as you pick it up, you lose the sparkles and they fall all over your face, which is, I mean, it's not that surprising because it usually happens with the glitter shades. So that's the only really disappointing one that I've used. But I'm gonna have to play with this palette a bit more. One second. So I'm gonna have to play with this palette a little bit more to figure out the best way to use it, but so far it's just a mediocre palette. I love my Tartelette in Bloom much more than I love this one. So that's it basically. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more. Get out!